and welcome to Unspeakable. This is a show about inventing brand new words, created by three amazing guests. I don't know about you, but I come from a family of word lovers. Both my first name and last name are verbs. Phil, Wang. Both verbs, both things you can do to a welly. It's true. In fact, all the Wang's first names are verbs. Big shout out to my siblings Grant, Sue, and Initiate. We'll be meeting our panel very shortly, but first, let's welcome my wonderful co-host, the Sultan of the Semicolon, the Apostle of the Apostrophe, it's Susie Dent!
Thank you, Bill.
Susie, could you please light our fire with the spark of a word?
Yes, I give you the olf, which I only discovered quite recently is the official measurement of smell. So a sitting person measures approximately 1 olf, unless it's very hot, a smoker 25 olf, and an athlete a little bit more at 30. And the fact I love it because the word was the invention apparently of a Danish professor called Ole Funge. And I think it's a riff on his name, Ole Funge.
Ole Funge.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dog's name, eh? Here comes Ole Funge. Like a raggedy old dog. Although by the sounds of it, it's actually better to have a cigarette than go for a run, smell-wise. That's pretty good news. Okay, now the challenge is, can our panel come up with any brand new words as excellent as Olf? Let's meet them and find out. Joining us for this episode are Ivo Graham, Harriet Kemsley, and Nish Kumar. Ivo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Ivo, you went to Eton. Public schools, they have their own sort of vocabulary, don't they?
They do.
Any words spring to mind from those days?
Yes, of course. They were drilled into us from day one. Sometimes we had to do a test on our own secret language. It was clear. It was not like other schools. We had to call our teachers beaks. That was a word for teachers. So that was my life for 5 years, and it's not changed me at all.
Harriet.
Hello.
You have a young daughter. Does she have any favourite words?
Yeah, her name's Mabel. She doesn't have many comebacks though. Not that I'm coming at her.
They're youth children. They're absolutely pathetic.
Her friend though the other day at nursery called her Mabel the table, and she didn't like it at all. So she was like, "Oh, I'm going to come back," and so she was like really pleased. But she went back and said, "Well, you're Lucy the table." Two professional comedian parents, you know.
Nish.
Hello,
Hello.
Philly.
So many weird and fascinating words in the world of politics. Filibuster, gerrymandering, omnishambles. Do you have any personal favourites?
Yeah, I thought the word boondoggle was very funny. And Susie, maybe I've got it this slightly wrong, but I've always understood it means like a waste of taxpayers' money.
Yeah, totally. It's a futile project that costs too much money.
What's the word? Where does it come from?
It's weird. It apparently comes from scouts in America making these sort of leather doggles that would go around their necks. And I don't know why it then came to mean sort of unnecessary expenditure, because I can't imagine that cost a lot. But that's how it started and then entered the political sphere. Yeah, to mean, I guess, trivial things, but things that people really concentrate on a lot. But it's a great, boondoggling is a great word.
It's a great word.
Yeah.
To use it in a sentence, for example, the government's COVID contracts in 2020 were an enormous boondoggle. And in the interest of balance, maybe they weren't.
Right, let's play Unspeakable. Each of our guests has come armed with a brand new word of their own invention that describes an experience, emotion, object, or sensation that currently has no word to define it. Whichever word I deem to be the most useful for humanity will be added to the one true book of books. No, not Blue Pill Phil, my poorly received pop-up book about Viagra. Offensive and anatomically inaccurate, The Guardian. I'm talking about the Unspeakable Dictionary. So let's start the game with our first word, which comes from Nish Kumar. Nish, please give us your word, then tell us a brief definition and why you're so keen for it to be created.
My word is cinemamnesia. And the definition of the word is when somebody has seen a film and has no ability to recall a single detail about the film. Be it actors in the film, the director of the film, the writer of the film, any of the characters that appear in the film, or any element of the plot of the film, or crucially in some cases, the title of the film. It's a word that has become essential. I wish I could say that this is as my parents get older, but it's simply, that would be a lie. Last week, my mother said to me, you know that film, The Girl Did the Thing? And that was the extent of what she was talking about. And the movie she was talking about was The Blind Side. Like,
As a big film fan, are you very good at remembering all the details from movies?
Yes, generally, yes. I'm pretty good. And also, if I sort of make it my business to know. But I also understand that there's a nerd... There's
Don't point at me when you say nerd. Unbelievable. Outrageous.
I was about to say there's a word for people like me, and that word is nerd. And I made eye contact with Phil Wang and just said, there's a nerd.
Yeah. That's them over there. Queen of the words and king of the nerds. Sat next to each other, finally.
There are a few films I wish I had cinemamnesia for. La La Land, Space Jam 2, and that VHS I found in my parents' bedroom. They recorded the Emoji Movie off the TV. Susie, what do you think of cinemamnesia?
I think it's absolutely brilliant. And it definitely fills a gap, which is the important thing when it comes to Unspeakable. And there are lots of words, not always in the dictionary, but in use for the act of forgetting something. So, Phil, do you remember I introduced you to the word tartle?
Always.
From Scots, where tartling is introducing someone but hesitating because you've completely forgotten their name, which is brilliant.
I go to get spectacles at the same shop, and there was a guy there called Ewan who I really liked, and I thought, because I was in there so much that we were kind of buddies, and every time I went and be like, Ewan, how's it going, man? Oh, yeah, Ewan. And he'd be like, yeah, hello. And the last time I saw him there, I was buying a new pair of glasses, and he was typing in to get my account on the system. And I could see he was nervous, because like, hey, so good to see you again, Ewan. And he's like, yeah, and he's very nervous, and he was typing in, and he went, sorry, what's your surname again? And I went, oh, sorry, yeah, no worries, it's Wang. And he went, oh, yeah. And then so I'm still nervous. And he, after a few seconds, he went, and your first name? Brutal. I think he quit that day because I never saw him again.
A story about being over-familiar at the glasses shop and you're saying you're not king of the nerds?
That's like my Sports Direct, the specs shop. Harriet, how are you with movies? Do you remember them, or do you get cinemamnesia?
Yeah, I don't really remember them, but I do see them.
And if anyone is looking to revive Barry Norman's film programme, Harriet is available. I did see it.
Yeah, I do, but yeah, I just never know. I get the vibe. I go off like the vibe of the film.
That's nice.
Yeah, but not the plot.
Okay, well, that's our first word of the show, cinemamnesia. Thanks for bringing it, Nish Kumar! Now, here at Unspeakable, we aren't just a cutting-edge 21st century gigafactory for new words, we're also the Antiques Roadshow for archaisms, always on the hunt for dusty old verbal treasures. So in that spirit, it's over to Susie to present our regional word of the week.
Well, this one comes from Yorkshire, and it is snick-up. And a snick-up is a fit of sneezing. And a hiccup snick-up is a fit of the hiccups, which I love. And a snotter snick-up is a pocket hanky.
Oh, right. So
It just sounds lovely.
Yeah, a fit of snotting.
Yes.
I've never understood the hanky thing. I don't like the idea of reusable hankies. It's crazy to me. You don't do it with other excretions. You're never like, oh, sorry, yeah, this is just my sweat flannel next to my poo rag. It's like...
In Roman times, to get the wrong end of the stick is said to come from the sponge that was at the end of the stick. Yeah. Sorry about that, folks.
God, it's good to be alive now. We appreciate it.
Like you can do that occasionally, but it's just like a little treat. It's not, you don't have to do it.
Right, it's time to hear our second word of the show, and this has been created by Harriet Kemsley. Harriet, please tell us your word and give us a brief definition and tell us why it matters to you.
Okay, my word is calamatrace. So it's when something monumentous happens, but nobody else sees it. And my example is when I fell down a hole.
What do you mean you fell down a hole?
I was snowboarding, but then I'd actually got to the bottom, and then I went to go put my snowboard, like my family had all gone ahead, and I went to go put my snowboard in the snowboard place, but the ground gave way, and I fell like 10 feet into a hole, and then a man had to come and like get me out of the hole, and then I got out, and it was like so overwhelming, and I'll never be the same again. But then I went and found my family, and they were like, "Oh, there you are." You don't understand what just happened. And then I tried to tell them, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, what do you want for lunch?" No, I'm different now.
I really loved that story. Obviously, you had me at snowboarding holiday. And I know there's nothing more charming in 2025 than a man questioning the veracity of a woman's story. But did you say it was a 15-foot hole?
No, I said 10 foot.
Oh, sorry.
All I know is it was taller than me.
Wow.
So
Suck it, Ethan.
It's lovely to hear the old catchphrases again.
But so can a calamatrace, does it have to be a bad thing happens?
I once saw this puppy and no one else saw it. And that's hard. You know, you have a real feeling and you have no one to share it with.
You want to share that? Right.
Yeah.
Or like when you get something in the bin from across the room and no one's there to celebrate it.
You can't use my word. Sorry.
Susie, what do you think of calamatrace?
Yeah, again, it fills a gap. I also think the worst thing is if something monumental happens and no one believes you because you have no evidence whatsoever. I like the word calamity as well. I love Calamity Jane. So I like this word. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bringing it back.
I find the idea quite comforting that people haven't seen something calamitous happen. Some of my early gigs were calamatrace.
There's always that.
Nish, what do you think of calamatrace?
For me, a lot of the most embarrassing things that have happened when no one's around, my first thought is, thank God no one was around to see me sneeze and fart at the same time.
There is a word for sneezing and farting at the same time, and for coughing and farting at the same time. That's a thorough cough. And she's recorded in the 18th century, a thorough cough, so I think you'd have a thorough sneeze.
Well done, Nish. We finally found a word to describe your favourite thing to do. Okay, well, that's our second word, calamatrace. A bad thing noticed by nobody. Will this be our glorious winner, broadcast to millions of people, thereby disproving itself? We'll find out soon, but thanks for bringing it, Harriet Kemsley. Now, if the dictionary is a nightclub, we now get to be the bouncers, because some words have had a few too many and are ruining it for the rest of us. They don't have to go home, but they got to get the hell out of here, and then into the word jail. Now, each of our guests is going to get to put a word they hate behind bars. Ivo, let's start with you.
Phil.
Yes.
You and I had the great luxury of going to our friends Luke and Elsa's wedding in Greece a few weeks ago. However, there was one person at the wedding called James who repeatedly asked me for half of a cigarette while telling me about his half marathon. And purely because of those interactions, I'd like to ban the word half. Because I appreciate that some things have to be done by halves, but I'm basically thinking about one villain and one very long evening hearing about, you know, a short run. over a small puff. And
that's all the more delicious knowing how many full marathons you do. Do you look down on the half marathoner?
No, not in the slightest.
Okay.
I support that, and I'm not proud of it, but I do smoke cigarettes as well. And in some ways, my casual, occasional schnoot at a wedding, that makes my marathons all the more impressive. This guy was a pretender to my crown on every front. I'm coming across more and more like the villain of the story.
Susie, what do you think about half?
Well, Before this, I would have stuck up for halves because we have this pessimism bias where words that once meant something kind of completely neutral then took a turn for the worse. So something mediocre, no one wants to be called mediocre. But it comes from the Greek meaning halfway up a mountain, which is a good thing. Yeah, mediocre. And in Gen Z slang now they have mid, which is the ultimate insult. Her outfit's really mid.
Slang really is a minefield, isn't it? Call the midwife, a lovely TV show. Call the wife mid, you're calling a divorce lawyer.
I'll be honest, we had such a nice chat just before coming up here about how wouldn't it be great if you did alternating months drinking and not drinking all the way through the year. And it made such sense to us as we went through it. January off, but then February back on the reward, March off, April on, May off is hard because summer's beginning, but then June is lovely, and then July as comedians we're getting ready for Edinburgh, but then in August we're drinking in Edinburgh, so that's great. September recover, October get hammered for Halloween, November one final rest, and then absolutely charge at Christmas.
It does actually make sense. When you think about it, it does make sense.
And the
It's a
producer of
lifestyle.
this show said, you're about to go up and do a bit about how you hate the word half. And I was like, yeah, I didn't really think that one even through.
Okay, Harriet, your turn. What word would you like to banish to the depths forever?
So I would like to banish the word snake. I don't know if I fully understand how the concept works, but if we banish the word snake, then we banish the snakes. Thank you. And that is what I stand for. Thank you, everybody.
So you think snakes are around because we keep saying the word snake?
Yeah.
And they're going, yes? Was it? What? Sorry, someone say my name?
Yeah, maybe if we just stop giving them so much attention, then they'll stop doing whatever they're doing, you know? I'm vegan, but I think we should eliminate snakes. And maybe have more owls.
Well, I can't help but be a little insulted, Harriet, because I was born in the Chinese year of the snake. And a snake, according to ChineseNewYear.net, is... I am proud of my culture, but there's a lot of them to remember. A snake is a cautious, introverted observer, cool and mysterious in behaviour, owing to their suspicious and insecure nature. I wonder why we're insecure, Harriet. When someone wants to get rid of the very idea of us.
And sorry, no backsies. You must be destroyed.
Susie, what do you think about snake? Should we get rid of snake?
I love snakes, but there is in language this real thing of not naming something that we're really scared of. So, you know, when we say speak of the devil, if somebody we've been talking about turns up in full, it's speak of the devil and he shall appear. So if you use the devil's name, the idea is that the devil will suddenly appear. And likewise, the grizzly bear, is said to come from an ancient root meaning the brown one and to be the oldest euphemism in the world. Because if you named the bear fully, and we don't know what that name was, the idea was that it would suddenly turn up behind you. So no one dared say bear. Instead, they said the brown one.
But we don't know what that original word was, so it worked.
It did work, I guess. Well, unless bears turned up.
So this is encouragement for Harriet.
True.
Because it's worked before, getting rid of... But the bears are still around, Harriet. This is the experiment.
Yeah.
But you keep saying it.
But this isn't the... But the bear is not their real name. It means the brown one.
I don't like to be identified by my race. I think it's crass and often very offensive, but I would like to put it on the record that if people want to start referring to me as the brown one... I'm actually, like, weirdly okay with that.
He will suddenly appear in front of you, so do be careful. Nish, what word would you like to jail?
I'd like to jail the word disruptor. Specifically, its definition in the most recent, I guess, decade, to mean somebody or a company that comes into an existing industry and disrupts it with a new, normally tech-driven method of doing whatever the industry does. Just because I think that the word disruptor has been incredibly overused, and also I think it is not inherently a positive thing. Like, if you are in the vegetable aisle of a supermarket and I brandish my genitals, that is disruptive. And it is increasingly starting to feel like the tech sector is just a group of people brandishing their genitals in the vegetable aisle of our collective lives.
I'm just imagining you suddenly with your penis and balls out in the supermarket.
Of course,
and
the brown one appears. Shouting about it being the year of the snake.
Who said brown one? Come on, we told you. We told you this would happen. I think it is revealing that disrupting is something you can only really do to an industry that's actually working fine.
Yeah.
No one's trying to disrupt the British train network because it's already disrupted. They've got that. They have that covered.
Leaves are the original disruptors.
Susie, disrupt a disruptor for us, would you?
Yeah, I'm with Nish on this one because disrupt, it's all about breaking. So the root of disrupt is a Latin word that gave us rupture, obviously, and bankrupt, because bankrupt goes back to Italian moneylenders who would put all their money out on a table, a banca in Italian, and hence we get the word bank. And when they went out of business, they literally would smash their table in half. Wow. So bancarotta meant broken bench.
And that's where bankrupt is from.
That's where bankrupt comes from. So, yes, it is all about negative stuff. I think there are positive associations in medicine, but for the most part, it's not a good thing.
Breaking perfectly good tables. I mean,
Wow.
Clearly they weren't good at saving money. I can see why they ran out of business.
True.
Great. Well, thanks to the panel for those excellent suggestions for the word jail. Now, while we're in the swing of placing words in purgatory, let's see if our studio audience have any candidates they'd like to send to prison. Liz. Hello, Liz. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. My word is niche. I don't actually have a problem.
What, mate?
And what a pretentious way to say it as well.
Unless you're French, you have seriously mispronounced my first name.
Sorry. Yeah, I feel bad even saying. It's not the actual word that I have a problem with, is that people use it too much and it's pretentious, and just because something's uncommon doesn't mean it's niche. So,
Yeah, right. What does niche mean in French originally?
It's like a corner. So I could be sitting in dictionary niche on Countdown, couldn't I? But yeah, it is definitely overused.
What's your nichest interest, Liz, do you think?
this.
Thank you, Santa Corner. This is real commitment to nicheness. Thank you, Liz. Thank you very much. Nish Kumar. It is time now to unveil our third and final contender for brand new unspeakable word. And this one is created by Ivo Graham. Ivo, please tell us your word and tell us what it means and why it matters to you.
Stressibule. The bit of the train where everything's going wrong. It won't surprise the people here who know me to know that I very rarely get a seat on a busy train. If I've made it through the door, I'm pretty pleased with myself, but it does mean I spend a lot of time in the stressibule, which is there's a lot of people there. There's late people, there's big bags, there's the fare-evading elite with their immediate toilet access. I'm not endorsing this lifestyle, but I can see how it works. There's just too much going on. There are whole sitcoms unfolding in the stressibule. Occasionally, a trolley will come through, and that's absolutely disastrous because people have set up camp on the floor. Jeremy Corbyn, of course, a great ambassador of the stressibule sit down. But yeah, it's not a nice place to be, and yet I spend more time there than almost anywhere else in my life.
Yeah, gosh, sounds like so. It's like the bit between the carriages, right? By
Yes.
the toilet, by the bins.
It's the vestibule.
A lot of things being thrown away, excreted, and that adds to it. The occasional just wafts of poo as well added to the as if things were bad enough in the stressibule from time to time.
Of course.
You just get a little guff gust.
Yes, exactly.
just in case you're starting to feel better about your life. Here's
Is that Phil Wang with his poo rag?
How many coffees did he have?
Oh, sorry, everyone. Back to my seat, though. Susie, what do you think of a stressibule? I think this in the UK, in Broken Britain, this is a very relatable experience.
I think absolutely right. I have been in one of those situations where I literally had one foot on one carriage and another foot on the other, and they were both going like this.
That's actually one of the most fun activities in the stress.
Well, that's true. It's like being on a wobble board. But I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's a very clever portmanteau.
For me, the worst part is if they have the gall to check your tickets on like an overpacked train.
Oh my God.
You're in the stressibule and you're sat on the floor, a guy's ass is in your face, and you can barely breathe, it's so soft, humid and hot, and then someone comes around and is like, tickets! Have you paid for this privilege? Tickets! It's like, are you kidding? You should pay me!
Let me get my QR scanner. How do you have a QR scanner and no moving air?
Thank you, Ivo. There we have Ivo's choice for a brand new word, stressibule. Well, we now have all three offerings from our guests to this show. Cinemamnesia from Nish Kumar, Calamatrace from Harriet Kemsley, and stressibule from Ivo Graham. The question is, which one deserves a place in the Unspeakable dictionary? I am Captain Wang-tastic, fresh from the DC cutting room floor, and the power to decide is mine. And I've decided that our winner is Cinemamnesia by Nish Kumar. Because I can't remember a damn thing either. Now, of course, our final word goes to Susie. Susie, please put a bow on this show with one final word of wonder.
Well, I recently discovered the Finnish word miukumauku, which is the @ sign, which obviously to Finnish minds looks like a sleeping cat because it literally means the sign of the meow. And if you look at the @ sign, that's exactly what it looks like.
The @ sign.
Yeah.
Miukumauku.
Miukumauku.
Just a reminder that you can follow me on Instagram at miukumauku wangpics. That actually is what I've called it. I regret it. And with that, we've reached the end of the show. Thanks very much to the amazing Susie Dent and to our guests Ivo Graham, Harriet Kemsley, and Nish Kumar. I'm Phil Wang, and this has been Unspeakable. Goodbye! Unspeakable was presented by Phil Wang and Susie Dent, with guests Ivo Graham, Harriet Kemsley, and Nish Kumar. It was devised by Joe Varley. Additional material was written by Matthew Crosby and James Farmer, and the producer was John Harvey. It's a Brown Bread production for BBC Radio 4.